Stop me if you've heard this one before. Bombing occurs, breathless auguries alleging the onset of World War III abound. 48 hours later, it's all but over, and all we accomplished was give an engagement to a talentless cabal of carny influencers on the so-called right, none of whom had a damn word to say about politics prior to Trump's inauguration in 2016, and all of whom slinked silently away to Juiceburg another day. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Apparently, I'm back in time for World War III, and I hate to say that we told you so. By we, I mean me and Ian Carroll. Ian, I mean, it's incredible. And it's looking like we may be going to war, which either I had a crystal ball, you had a crystal ball, could see into the future, or this has been the most obvious and the most planned war in the history. And we're not the only ones.
A lot of people saw it coming. It was clearly the agenda.
As is often the case in our current news cycles, as you were talking, the president just posted on Truth Social moments ago saying, quote, a ceasefire has been, quote, fully agreed to by Israel and Iran.
I think that Trump would be very easily swayed to think all you need to do is show him some intelligence reports, show him some spooky stuff about Iran's stockpile of almost nuclear material and be like, look, they almost have a bomb.
So I trust Tucker beyond, more than any person in politics.
There will be a complete and total ceasefire 6 hours from now. Again, this just happened. I don't want to spring this on you. And we're trying to figure out exactly what it means. It's a rather lengthy post on Truth Social.
The MAGA movement is going to change, okay?
Yeah, Trump is on the edge right now. He's ready to burn his entire legacy to the ground because everything was laid out for him. All he had to do was close the border, deport a bunch of people, and not go to war. And so far, it's failing on all three counts and actually going to the wars we didn't want. And it's really sad.
Well, it follows exactly what I was saying. Trump is now clearly trying to transition from war maker to peacemaker.
This is going to be the one of the Candace is right jar. But I'm not, it's not even that I'm right, I'm just paying attention. I'm just paying attention to stuff.
I feel the worst for, and I probably shouldn't, are the pundits who reserve judgment for a day or more, only to finally grab ankle and jump into the anti-Trump rage wank at a little more than peer pressure, all for the privilege of looking ridiculous. I hate to spoil this for you, sunshine, but you have no peers on social media. This entire platform and every offshoot of it is faker than Pam Anderson's cans. These people do not matter. Hell, these people are not people. You'd see less bot activity on stage at a 90s Chuck E. Cheese, and yet I feel criticism of these cucks is also somewhat off the mark at the moment. It's not that Owen Schroyer or Candace Owens or Cucker Tarleson are actually cranky at Trump on any principled basis. Oh, it's far worse than that and more vacuous a phenomenon by far. Any stand-up comic would recognize it immediately. Folks! They're playing to the damn room. The more they melted down and mulled about World War III, the more they make inapplicable comparisons to the Iraq War and WMDs and Iran and the current military action, an outright inversion of the facts that I'll explain momentarily, the more engagement you gave them. And that's the most pathetic fact I find. For all the accusations of influencers taking pay to push propaganda on behalf of Israel, Russia, or the Savage Orient, the sobering reality is, no, they don't. They do it for free. Look, it's easy to decide on a direction when the herd is all flowing in the self-same direction, but some of us with hard-won experience in that category already knew otherwise. As anyone who's played Death Stranding or watched Jurassic World can confirm, the most popular position is almost always distilled dog shit. Even when the angry mob is right, it finds a way to be wrong. And now that the dust is settled, you simps need to stop it with the Iran-Iraq war comparisons, because if you knew the first thing about the first thing about any Persian people, you'd know you sound more tone-deaf than T-Pain with broken auto-tune. Iraq is an Arab country with an Arab government and an Arab religion. Iran is a non-Arab country that, thanks to a pinko peanut farmer's feckless fumblings, not to mention MI6 and the CIA, wound up with an Arab occupying government and a forcibly imposed Arab religion. What, you think we bought off and armed Saddam Hussein to militarily pulverize the Persians because Iraqis and Iranians are just so much alike? And before your white witless ass pipes up, no one would agree with me harder on this than an actual Iranian. And Nick Fuentes' 2'4" jizz-bathing bitch ass unironically repeating it is proof his IQ is smaller than his inseam. But again, while I believe most of these hapless retards are simply playing to the butt-suffused social media masses, it's not that these nut wipes can't be bought. It's that Alex Jones, Phone Book Fuentes, and the goof in the gay porn stash can be bought for absolutely nothing. For engagement and attention, for validation, viral videos, and more clicks than Trump's desk phone. They can not only be bought, they can be bought for free. So next time, in lieu of looking like the rubber cement swilling sped you happen to be, maybe, possibly, be a man, use your melon, and stand for what you actually stand for, you backbone bereft, nose honking, unicycle riding clowns. Look, I have been blessed with myriad character flaws. As for instance, I am more stubborn than popcorn on a back molar, but among my panoply of character defects, a refusal to learn a lesson cannot be counted among them. When Trump dropped bombs on that airfield in the glorified litter box of Syria, I cranked out a rant quicker than a hiccup entitled, "Why So Syria?" Therein, I explained that if America went to war with yet another Middle Eastern asshat repository, the only Trump term I would support would be in a federal penitentiary. And a week or more later, I look like a damn dunce, and with good reason. Not only did a U.S.-Syria war never properly kick off, it arguably put Putin out to pasture, deferring his long-planned invasion of the Ukraine until bumbling-ass Biden shambled into office due to the fact that the Syria strikes actually killed a gaggle of Russian mercenaries that most certainly were not supposed to be in Syria. And before you bite back with, well, that's easy to say now, as if everything's perfect in hindsight, and this somehow excuses hipster-bearded bloviation generators like Dave Smith or Joel Webbin spending 2 days signal-boosting bullshitters who claimed Israel's strike was merely a smokescreen to kick off an Iranian regime change war initiated by the United States. First off, I warn your asses not to overreact on hour 1 of this conflict. And second, yes, I imagine hindsight is a bona fide state of mind with your head jammed that far up your ass. If this had initiated a war, I would have been first in line to attack it as a misguided mission. Not because Iran don't require liberation, though. If you knew as many Iranians as I do, you'd know they're about the only country on earth in genuine, dire need of emancipation from their foreign-installed Arab dictatorship. But after the comedy of errors in the 1950s, Carter crap in the bed in the 70s, and every other shiv we slid into the ribs of the otherwise westernized Persian people, America have the credibility of a Dick Cheney gun safety class, and thus even an organic revolution, if instigated or approved of in any way by the U.S., would have more trust issues than Michael Vick's poodle. If it was still the 70s and Carter had a cock, maybe we could interject and manumit the Iranian people from their proxy puppet government. But that train has long since sailed, my friends. I do cultivate the sincere hope that the Iranians are one day disembarrassed of their dictatorial overlords. They are one of the greatest civilizations on planet Earth, and under other circumstances might make an amazing ally. But America are far too deep in credibility, not to mention monetary, deficit to do so. To recap, Trump bombs Syria, World War III trends on Twitter, 3 weeks later there's more conflict on an episode of The View than between the US and Syria. Trump bombs Iran in 2020, light the World War III signal, oops, care for a nothing burger with cheese. And now, after going through the same rigmarole a third and hopefully final time, we see the only thing truly bombed into oblivion was Candace Owens' credibility. It's not about blind loyalty or trusting the plan, pissant. It's about basic pattern recognition and the professionally witless legion of beard-bedecked prom suit-wearing wonder-tards in the emerging new right commentariat, few of whom need to shave more than Candace, just prove to you they do not possess any, in the immortal words of the bard. Fuck you, I was right! Fuck you, I was right!